Hey freaks, Tim back here to introduce a best of show. Yeah, it's going to be kind of like last week where I post a best of show right now, but fear not because later today I'll be back with a brand new episode of DV. So you're still going to get the same amount of new episodes of DV this week. I'm just going to be a little tardy to the party. Insert your own tard joke here, I guess. The best of episode I have for you today is from about 5 years ago. It was around that time I rediscovered a commercial that has been haunting me ever since. The goddamn song has been stuck in my head. This is the origin of all of that. Apparently, in 2018, it was announced that Sears was pretty much close to bankruptcy. Actually, the day after this episode aired, Sears declared bankruptcy. This all gave me a chance to reminisce about some of my favorite Sears television commercials. And don't worry, if you're not into Sears, shame on you, first of all, but if you're not, there's plenty of other stuff in this episode of DV, like circus fart freaks, public masturbators in a library. You know, standard DV stuff. Sit back, enjoy, and I will see you back later for a new episode of DV.
It's not a fun day. And Tuesday, another blues day. Wednesday's getting better, Thursday doesn't matter, and Friday is the last day. And then it's W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend. W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend.
I'm sorry!
What the heck is in our oxygen supply of the metallic oxide salt?
No lubricant was desired.
Feed my fucking sickness, you fucking snatch weasel.
Billy said I look like a black boy. You said I look like a black person.
It's not like you're really black.
A, B, C, D, P, C, P, E, R, X, and T, H, C.
Yeah, this is Smooth Raccoon here, coming to you with pizza delivery P&B.
How are the kids doing?
What kids?
The butt babies I left in your asshole last night.
Well, you know what? I'm not gay. I want to suck your cock.
Hi, this is Barry White.
Fuck this shit.
This asshole fuck these words up, man. I mean, he's got words that he don't even need.
I was like cock in 20 years.
E-N-D.
Ba 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 ba. Hey freaks, it's Sunday, October 14th, 2018. Coming up on the program today, the softer side of Chapter 11, plus busted jerking off at the library, moldy baby corpses, and there's a difference between testing crack cocaine and sampling crack cocaine. All coming up today.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
Black nut juice is good, but I gotta say, Negro nut cream, way better. Yeah, Tim Henson's back here with you as promised for a weekend edition of the show. Got a great one for you today. As I was looking for news stories to share with you, I kept running across very sad articles about Sears, and I haven't thought about Sears in years. Some of you might not even know what Sears is. It's a department store. Now, some of you might not know what department stores are. It's an IRL Amazon. Are we all on the same page here? So I was never a huge Sears fan. In the very early 90s, in my small, shitty hometown of Ashtabula, they constructed a mall. There was no chance that this thing was ever going to be successful. It was a big, fucking huge-ass mall, and one of the anchor stores was Sears. So I would go to the Sears in the mall and just sort of walk around, because that's what we did as teenagers, especially before I got, like, my driver's license. Like, our parents would all drop us off at the mall at around, like, 11 in the morning, and then around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, they would come and pick us up. And it would be me and Joey and, my friend Jeanette, and we'd all just walk around the mall. We'd have, like, I don't know, 10 or 20 bucks to blow on food and dumb little knickknacks or whatever. And so we would go into Sears. We'd never buy anything from Sears, because that was, like, for old people. I just hated the way the store was laid out. It was heavy on, like, fucking power tools and appliances, shit I did not care about. Well, now the world doesn't care about Sears, and they're getting ready to declare bankruptcy. Because I am a child of the 90s, though, I have two very specific Sears memories, and they're both commercial related. Sears, Sears has been around since like the 1800s or something. Like, they're dinosaurs. Like, it's okay that Sears is going to go bye-bye. They had a good run, but, now they're just kind of like relics, right? But throughout their long history, they've been in financial trouble a few times, and they were able to claw their way out of it. Apparently, in the early 90s, they were in some trouble because, again, people just associated Sears with refrigerators, dishwashers, craftsman tools. And people going to the mall typically are going there to shop for clothes and stuff. And Sears had clothes, but no one really thought to shop there for apparel. Kind of a problem, though, because Sears, started popping up in malls. They were in hundreds and hundreds of malls. They needed people to think of Sears when shopping for clothes, not just shopping for major appliances. So they came up with this amazing ad campaign. I say it's amazing because even after almost 30 years, I still know the lyrics to the song. So here we go. This is a Sears commercial from around 1993.
Hey, mister.
All right, first of all, listen, the song is directed at men. So, like, hey, mister.
Hey, mister.
But all the video footage is of women in clothing, throwing snowballs, dancing around.
Hey, mister, your hardware's looking real good. This insulation's just right. Wool mufflers and full-length sheer.
You think they're talking about car parts, right? Or stuff guys would be into. Insulation, mufflers for cars. But again, when you watch, you see these women wearing boots. When they're talking about insulation, mufflers, there's earmuffs.
And full-length sheers are what I want to wear tonight.
What? Where? Get it? It's all clothing.
Tonight.
You'll be the first place I'll always try, 'cause hardware now has a softer side. Come see the softer side of yours. Aw, this kind of actually makes me sad. Okay, the song is cheesy in a 90s sort of way, but apparently it was very successful. It got people going to the fucking dumb store to shop for clothes. Here's another one.
Hey, mister, your hardware's looking real good. These power belts are cool.
Yeah, it's some like gold gaudy belt, right? They're not talking about power tools or like a sander or something.
Cool.
Oh wait, what was that? What was the next one here? So that was power belts.
These power belts are cool. Copper cables.
Copper cables.
And silverware.
Like a cable knit top.
Ooh, I'm stepping on these tools, 'cause you'll be the first place I'll always try, 'cause hardware now has a softer side.
Come see the bankrupt side of Sears. Have you guys been in a Sears store in the last, 5-10 years? It is depressing. Lord Douche and I actually did go to a Sears not too long ago to look at appliances because, one of the Sears was closing and, they were having some amazing deals. It's not a Sears if there's not water damage on the ceiling. big brown spots or pails on the floor to catch rain dripping down. Anyway, the other commercial memory I have of Sears is not for the store so much as a product they were selling. Apparently, Sears was selling air conditioning units. Sears was into all sorts of fucking shit. So they didn't just have the stores. They sold insurance. they had a bunch of credit cards. They had a credit card business, which at one point was making up like 60% of their income. Why they sold this fucking shit off, I don't know, because they would totally be okay at this point. They would have just stayed diversified. All right, so here is the Sears air conditioning commercial. I'm sure more than a few of you will remember this.
I cannot live another day without air conditioning.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Hotter?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday? Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
That is the exact moment I realized I never want to be married. I call this the Jill syndrome. I think there is a whole generation of kids who grew up watching Home Improvement and saw what a fucking cunty bitch Jill was. You know, Tim the Toolman Taylor's wife. Just a nagging, miserable, crusty old cunt. And as a kid, you're watching this and you're like, why? Why is he married to her? What is the benefit here? You know, Tim the Toolman Taylor had a TV show. And then he comes home and he can't do anything right, according to Jill. Who, does she even work? I don't recall if she had a career or not. Regardless, she should be a little fucking grateful that she's able to live this life of luxury that Tim is providing. A little bit of gratitude. Okay, he blew up the dishwasher. Big fucking deal. He was doing it for you. He was trying to give that dishwasher more power. Ow, 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 ow. So, you know, you could clean the dishes faster, and then you could spend more time with Tim. It was a nice thing he was trying. So cut up some fucking slack, you grizzled old warthog. Anyway, I get that same Jill vibe from the wife in this advertisement. Now, the husband's like, I will call today. No, you call now. Do you understand how expensive air conditioners are? Maybe the guy's not ready to blow, 10 grand on a unit.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Hotter?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday? Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
Now's the time to save on Sears installed central air conditioning.
Actually, it's a Kenmore unit.
And you know Sears will be there to back it up.
We don't know that anymore. So help you God if you recently purchased a Sears air conditioner. And then the commercial ends with this couple again.
So what's the paper say about tomorrow?
Another scorcher.
Cool.
Yeah, she's all happy now because the bitch got what she wanted. But that phrase, another scorcher, always sticks with me. As a reminder, A, to never get married, and B, it reminds me of this advertisement whenever I hear the word scorcher. So there you go. Rest in peace, Sears. They haven't declared bankruptcy yet, but I think it's coming next week or so. So you will be missed as much as a big box retailer can be missed, I guess. Moving on now. I've got some audio from an ex-tuber. We have featured this guy before. He's kind of a creep. He wears various latex masks. Some just look like bald men. There's one that looks like a pig. The video I have for you today is a character named Cy Smoothie. And he's like a bald guy. He's got like a pencil-thin mustache. Kind of looks like a standard sex offender. And he's up in his attic here.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a real show for you tonight.
All right, so this character, Cy, aspires to be an entertainer. Again, this is on XTube. People go here just to jerk off. You don't expect to see a lot of character work being done. But this character, Cy, latex mask guy, is an entertainer. He's rehearsing in his attic, and it gets very hot.
Oh, baby. Oh,
so he needs to jerk off.
Oh, I got a real show for you tonight. My name's Cy Smooth, and I'm here to entertain you. Or do something to you, I don't know. I'm probably gonna torture you to death.
It doesn't take long for him to whip out his dick and start jerking it.
These sweaty hands all over my greasy body. Oh, I haven't washed in days. I perform this week after week. I never take off the cap. I never take off the cap.
Yeah, he's saying that he's got a very dirty, stinky dick.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, give it to me, Henry.
He's choking himself here as well. I'll be here all week. That didn't take long. It's interesting because he came.
Oh, what a mess honestly fucking what that was.
See what I mean?
Oh.
But he never really got hard.
Come see the softer side of
Dick and nuts!
Moving on, I have got a clip here that was posted in our Discord. Thank you so much for this contribution. Chat with other freaks in our Discord. There's a link on distortedview.com in the main navigation bar. So this is kind of porn. It's porn light. This video was found on YouTube. It's a scary circus girl. She's kind of like Harley Quinn and a sideshow freak and a clown and a mime all rolled into one. Just to paint you a very vivid picture. Oh, and she farts.
Step right up. Open your wallet, open your nose.
Open your asshole, bitch.
Right up. Open your wallet, open your nose. Get ready for the greatest farts on earth. Did you travel far and wide to find the greatest farts in the land now?
It's like, you didn't have to dress up like this. You could have just stuck your ass in front of a camera and let them rip. The fart fetish guys will find you. They'll thumb your video up regardless. It's so sad what these YouTubers have to do to get views. And I know the struggle. Oh, I'm having a hard time over on my YouTube channel. Maybe I need to wiggle my rump and blow some farts your way. All right, let's...
And get ready for the stinkiest show on earth.
Cute.
Hope you paid for front row seating because this little clown booty is feeling super tutti fruity. Told you so.
I have a hard time believing these YouTube fart girls. Like, I just feel like they add the fart sound effects in afterwards.
Here, we'll waft it to the back row. See if
it's hard to fart on command
nostrils
repeatedly.
Up, boys and girls. That's right.
This is why I like my fart porn on XTube or Pornhub or Xhamster, because the girl will be completely naked. I can stare right into her asshole. I can tell if she's farting or not. When you're wearing a goddamn clown outfit, your butthole is concealed, and I no like that. It's also creepy that, it's kind of like she's talking to children. Like, it's time for some stinky winkies, boys and girls.
More you
like
say? Alrighty, that was loud enough. Let's see.
Like, I don't think that's coming out of her ass.
Ooh, that was a nice deep bass one.
Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it? Here.
All right, if you want to see the whole thing, check out our Discord. The video is posted in there. I'm just disgusted. All right, moving on now. Speaking of our Discord, one of my favorite people in there is Torso. Torso posts a lot of good stuff. Like, I feel like he and I are on the same wavelength. He knows what I would consider to be DV-worthy material, and he recently posted a video of a screaming homeless man in California. This is right up my alley. It's the middle of the night. It's just a homeless guy screaming on the streets. Could you imagine you're walking home, right, after a night at the bar, and this is what you hear? I would shit my pants. Finally, the camera gets a good view of this guy. He's, like, hunched over by a door, like an entrance to an apartment building or something, and he's just wailing. Like, this would be totally acceptable in New York City. It's just like, oh, another night in the big city, right? But Sacramento? I don't think it's quite as normal. It's like a pterodactyl is in your neighborhood. Didn't we play a clip recently of like some religious guy who believed that pterodactyls were still around? Proof. Wait, that sound is very familiar. Where have I heard that before? Yeah, not bad. It's a pretty good Aussie impression. Finally, before we get into the news today, we've got a woman at the public library confronting a man who is obviously masturbating at one of the computer workstations. Doesn't Doesn't it seem that there's always a man masturbating at the public library? What's up with that? Doesn't the library block porn sites, for Christ's sakes? All right, so here we go. This woman is filming. Now, you don't see the man actually whipping out his dick, but his hand is underneath the desk, and it's moving in a jerking off fashion. He's actually masturbating quite vigorously.
Bro, you know this a public place?
Wow, who said that? I mean, this guy was buried in his porn. He didn't know anyone was looking at him, filming him, nothing. Still, being startled like that, that's an instant boner killer.
Come see the softer side of dick and nuts.
It is funny watching this guy masturbate. He's got a big grin on his face.
Bro, you know this a public place?
No. Excuse me?
You know this a public place?
Yes.
And you jacking your dick, watching porn right next to me?
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're just jacking your dick and watching porn right next to me. You know that's nasty as fuck.
No, I don't mean any harm.
I don't mean any harm.
That's not nice. Don't do that in front of me. I seen you do it 3 times. Stop.
3 times? Good Christ, give that thing a rest. Jerking that thing off raw. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted, and fucked up news right now. I posted a new video for everyone on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/distortedviewshow. I opened some more mail. I got like 4 new packages. Thank you very much to people like Kay and Little Baby Faggot and Love Lady Cat Lady and a mystery person. If you want to see what they sent along to me, check out the video. And thank you to everyone who is mailing stuff to me. Like I said in the video, you don't have to buy me something. You can always just write a nice little letter, draw me something. I'll feature it in a video, display it in the background. Got some really interesting things today. Hey, if you want to sign up for the Sideshow DB's member site and get full access to the entire archive of programs, well over 3,000 shows. More importantly, you get access to all of the exclusive programs. Every week we do bonus shows just for paying members. Tuesday and Thursday, typically. Sign up, become a true and honorable freak today. It's very inexpensive. It's only $6.99 a month, even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. I also do exclusive videos just for Sideshow members, so check it out, superfreaksideshow.com. And finally, last way to help us out, I have got to say thanks to a bunch of new patrons. This week we added 4, which is a great number. T-Bone Rex, Ken Yuki, Craig, Boonit, all new patrons. It's another way to support Distorted View Daily. You can pledge as little as $1. It really does help the show out. I try to post stuff just for patrons as well in the form of videos and little updates, zip files full of audio clips and stuff. Check it out, patreon.com/distortedview. Okay, now we can get into the news. 3 quick stories, then we'll get the hell out of here. First up, we got a story from Texas, baby.
We're going to Texas. We're going to Texas. We're going to Texas. Here we go. We're going to Texas. We're going to Texas.
We're going to Texas. Here we come. The remains of 11 infant bodies were found Friday. Dead babies. Makes me laugh every time. The remains of 11 infant bodies were found Friday in the ceiling of a former funeral home. Why is it these funeral homes have such a problem getting rid of the bodies? We read stories like this all the time, where there's a bunch of dead bodies in a funeral home or in like the garage of the funeral home just rotting away. And obviously, these were not meant to be buried. These had to have been meant to be cremated, which is like the easiest way to dispose of a body. Just burn the fucker up. And infants are probably like the easiest to cremate because they're so tiny. You could probably just put an adult in the cremation oven and throw the infant in there at the same time. They're so tiny you could flush them down the toilet. And if a 17-year-old can dispose of an infant at her prom, someone who works at a funeral parlor should be able to figure this shit out. They're storing them in the ceiling. Authorities found the remains at the Contrell Funeral Home. The property owner called police after making the discovery. 8 bodies were found in a cardboard box. Like an Amazon.com cardboard box. Yes, 8 bodies were found in a cardboard box, and 3 others were found in trash bags in a small casket. At least one of the bodies had been there since 2009. Some of the bodies appeared to be covered in mold. Jamaica LaJoyce Boone, who was the funeral home's designated manager in the year prior to the closing, said she was unaware that the bodies were there. I didn't know anything about that, she said. I really don't know how that could have even happened. I don't know how long it's been going on there. It's very unfortunate, and they definitely need to find out who put them there. The funeral home's license was suspended in April after inspectors found decomposing embalmed bodies and other violations. Violations also include 2 improperly stored bodies covered in what appeared to be mold, and a 3rd body with unknown fluids covering the facial area. Someone done did jerked off and glazed that dead man's face. That ain't right. All right, second story we have for you today. This one comes from Bristol, Tennessee. There's a Bristol here in the U.S.? Oh, awesome. A man who police say was run over with a lawnmower while trying to kill his son with a chainsaw has had to have his leg amputated. There is quite a lot to unpack in that first sentence. The Bristol Herald Courier reports that a warrant for 76-year-old Douglas Ferguson couldn't be served until Tuesday because of the severity of his injuries. What the hell happened? Well, according to a Sullivan County Sheriff's Office release, officers called to a home on June 28th found Ferguson bleeding from his leg and head. Yeah, something went down. A preliminary investigation indicated that he tried to attack his son with a running chainsaw while his son mowed the yard. You should be happy your son is doing his chores. I could understand if the story was like his son was sitting playing stupid Fortnite, not doing yard work like he was told to. So the old man took a chainsaw to his throat or whatever. But, you know, the kid was actually doing something useful here. All right, so detectives say the father and son had an ongoing feud. I wonder if it was yard-related. I told you to mow diagonally. It looks nicer. By the way, I suck at mowing. Have I told you guys this? I can't mow in a straight line. You'd think it's easy. Part of the problem is our front yard is on a hill. Makes it kind of difficult, but still. As I'm mowing, I don't know if I've already mowed that part. I'll look back at the yard that I've already done, and there's big swaths that I missed. I'm not cut out for this stuff, but I'm too poor to hire someone to cut my grass. So now what I do is I'll mow a line, and then I'll go back over it, kind of. I'll just move the mower a little bit. So I'm basically cutting the same grass twice. Just so I don't miss anything. It takes me so long to do the yard. Ferguson is charged with attempted second-degree murder and violating probation. It's unclear whether he has a lawyer to comment on his behalf. So there you go. And finally, today, freaks, if you've gotten in trouble with the law in Massachusetts for drug possession, I've got some great news for you. You might end up getting away with it. What? Prosecutors from across Massachusetts have tallied more than 8,000 convictions they say will be dismissed because they're tainted. No, it's not tainted love. It's tainted crack cocaine. The worst kind of taint. Unless you're licking someone's balls and you smell their taint and it's shitty. That's a pretty bad taint too. I don't know what that's a different kind of tainted love. Prosecutors from across Massachusetts have tallied more than 8,000 convictions they say will be dismissed because they are tainted by a scandal at the state drug lab. That's according to a new court filing by the Massachusetts Attorney General. The cases involved analysis by lab chemist Sonia Farrick, who was both testing and consuming the drugs seized by the police for 8 years. Yeah, that's an awesome job if you're a drug addict, if you can get it. It's almost like, all you can snort, right? You've got so many drugs around you at all times. Prosecutors indicate they will seek to preserve convictions in some of the cases Farrick handled, either through retesting or other evidence. But the state's public defenders and the American Civil Liberties Union are seeking a blanket dismissal of all Farrick's cases and further sanctions to deter prosecutorial misconduct. It's a very big word for me. Such as the kind that delayed the full exposure of Farrick's misadventures for years, resulting in some defendants spending more years in prison. The list compiled by prosecutors mark a key step in resolving the second debacle from the Massachusetts drug lab scandal. This year, Massachusetts prosecutors had to erase more than 21,000 drug convictions because of the actions of lab chemist Annie Dukin.
Hadouken!
No, not Hadouken, Dukin, like Dookie. She admitted to contaminating, falsifying, or not testing drugs in her Boston area lab over 8 years. The good news is she didn't, eat all them drugs. She just didn't test them. That mass dismissal was more efficient than individually retrying 24,000 cases with 20,000 defendants. Prosecutors compiled a list of cases for dismissal, and a small number, about 1.5%, where it would seek to preserve the conviction. The High Court also ordered the prosecutors to send a court-approved letter to all affected defendants and establish a phone number to public defenders for defendants needing guidance, all at the government's expense. That process, all sides agree, can be used again in trying to clean up the Farrick mess. But reaching this stage was delayed again because two assistant attorney generals, Ann Kazmarek and Chris Foster, withheld evidence that showed that Farrick's drug-fueled escapades, including cooking and smoking drugs in the state lab in Amherst, Massachusetts, had lasted for 8 years, not 6 months, as they initially claimed. What the fuck is going on in Boston?
Big sell crack!
Ma'am, step back.
Sell crack!
Step back.
Well, she wasn't selling it. She was smoking a lot of it, though. The defense bar notes that even minor drug convictions can have collateral impacts on people's lives. Oh, here comes the preachy part of this fucking news story. Such as the ability to get loans or jobs or school admissions. In the Farrick case, the defenders want the High Court to dismiss all convictions tainted by the Commonwealth's misconduct, without individualized showings of prejudice and without allowing without allowing prosecutors to maintain any convictions. It also wants the court to consider additional relief to remedy or sanction the egregious prosecutorial there's that big word again that I slow down and still stumble on, misconduct in this case, and to deter similar misconduct in the future. So there you go. If you're a drug addict in Massachusetts, you may be set free. Congratulations, you got lucky. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Sunday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you, freaks. 206-666-4463. That's our voicemail line. We've got a special phone number just for patrons. I will play your calls first. Find that number over there at patreon.com/distortedview. You can always email me, show@distortedview.com. I'm all over social media at distortedview on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, youtube.com/distortedview show. Everyone go and subscribe and click that bell and all that stuff you're supposed to do. Here's a patron.
Hey, Timmy Boo, it's the Decoy Jew. You mentioned on a recent program urine being sterile, and I just want to pull a little bit of a Haley's Comet here. Urine is actually not sterile. That's a myth. It has...
I thought it was like coming out of you, it's sterile. But then the second it leaves your pee hole, right, and it hits that air, then it's not sterile anymore. Is that wrong?
Urine is actually not sterile. That's a myth. It has pretty low amount of bacteria.
Okay,
to,
well,
like any other fluid in your
whatever.
Body. It's full of ammonia, and everything hates ammonia. But it's not sterile. There is some bacteria in there, even while... Not really sure why people say it's sterile. Like, you're not likely to get any kind of infection from piss because it's definitely low in bacteria. But
I also heard, you know how like if you get stung by a jellyfish or whatever, you're supposed to piss on it, not on the jellyfish, but you know wherever you were stung, on the foot or whatever. I heard that also is an old wives' tale. Like that doesn't do anything either. Next thing I'm going to learn is gargling with piss doesn't make your teeth whiter. All that time was wasted. All right, here's another patron.
Hey, Boo. I know you're going to play this because I know it's the Patreon line, but I just had to pause yesterday's podcast or today's podcast because you were talking about your capes and how you really would be the first guy to wear one.
Yeah, I would like capes to become popular again.
Can you regale us with that story about whenever you were at the mystery?
Oh, I did wear a cape for that.
Whenever you were at the mystery tour or that mystery...
Yeah, it was that murder mystery thing. I wore a cape.
Dinner party or whatever that was, where you were so excited to wear your cape again?
Cape again? It was the first time I ever wore a cape.
I'd love to hear that story again, Tim.
Really?
All right, bud. Enjoy your weekend. Can't wait for the weekend show. Peace.
Yeah, I don't really remember that there was a good story that goes along with it, but Lord Douche and I went to this murder mystery thing, and they said you should dress up for it, and I was the only asshole who dressed up for it. I looked like a goddamn fool in my cape. And because I was the one idiot to dress up, they wanted me to participate. You know, they gave me stuff to do, and I was like, I was one of the people that could have been the murderer or whatever. It's goofy shit. It kind of pissed me off because like I was excited about doing the murder mystery thing because I wanted to just like observe and try to like figure out who the murderer was. I didn't want to be a part of the fucking dumb story and be like one of the suspects, and that's what you get for dressing up. The thing said you should dress up. And I'm the only person who dressed up. There are people in their fucking sweatpants. People are slobs. You know what I mean? Coming to a murder mystery. It was like, you got a dinner? It was a whole thing, right? And they're fucking wearing a Reebok sweatshirt.
I just got up, so my voice is a little groggy, but nobody died at Sandy Hook, and all the injuries at the Boston bombing were fake. Thank you.
Okay. I want to hear more about your theories. He sounds like a Distorted View listener we really need to talk to more.
Hey, Jimmy Boo, Sam from Maryland calling. Rick from Baltimore has probably already called about this, but yeah, you were just featuring this homeless jack-off handy dude. Yeah, he said he's in Harborview Medical Center. This should surprise no one. He's in Baltimore.
Oh.
That's Baltimore. Dirty, shady motherfucker.
Tori Amos likes Baltimore. Baltimore. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. Why don't you guys email me? Show at DistortedView.com. DistortedView.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660. Oh, God, is it? Oh, God.
Call today.
You call now.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. We start a new week of programs tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody.
It's so nice to live here. I'm glad this is my home. I've got a homestead on Baltimore Street. It's someplace to call my own. It's all kinds of people, familiar places, smiling faces. I'm proud to say I'm a Baltimorean. But the birds are the best of Baltimore. We like it here in Baltimore. There's so much love in Baltimore.
I want to melt the chocolate from your cock.